How do I do? I just hit that start?
I think we're rolling now.
Okay.
Is it recording?
Yeah, recording. Okay. Why are you the ideal person to represent your religion in God's house?
Well, who the hell's the ideal for anything? Anyways, I think what might add to the flavor of the soup that you're trying to mix in this house would be, I'm pretty well versed and pretty well traveled and a prolific studier, just out of interest and curiosity of world religion. So, I prayed in mosques with my Muslim friends, and I've been, hung out with a lot of Israelis. I coached the Olympic gold medalist, the only gold medalist for Israel, so I spent a lot of time in Israel. And, while I was there, I'd go to, Masada, or just all the different sort of historical locations. The Sea of Galilee, we'd go windsurfing there, and, you go into the church where, John the Baptist baptized Jesus, and it's sort of... So I run around, and then there's these incredible saints and, yogis and teachers and masters that you can interact with all around the world. So either watch, videos of them or read books about their lives. And if they're still in the physical, go visit them, And I've sort of done that. I've had some amazing experiences. But I love and honor anybody that's sort of spiritual and religious. But I sort of try to always bring it back to the unifying principle. I mean, I'm a Christian by birth. But I think what's amazing is I had sort of a falling out with God in my finite understanding of Christianity, which can be quite limited. It's sort of like the ABCs. If you read the Bible and you go to Bible school, you're getting one little slice of the story. But, as you want to evolve and get into the PhD level and you really want to understand how it affects all your different choices and consciousness, you start feeling starved for information because, I think the fundamental parts of religion are pretty... can be pretty damaging, where they get so fixated that they're like, well, you don't believe my religion, so I'm going to kill you. And there's Christians that are willing to die for it as much as, for example, there might be Muslims, which is quite amazing. And the whole intention of religion is to become, more conscious, more integrated, more connected to, the Holy Spirit, which hides in everything. And in my belief and understanding of things, I don't think there's anything that's not God. So the people... Anyways, I think I can add some interesting flavor and definitely get into some very interesting conversations, which would be really fun.
Yeah. Cool. Number 4. What's a personal obstacle, demon, or struggle that you would like to overcome?
I think the one demon that I deal with more than anything at a daily basis is something that all humans are dealing with, is the misidentification that the mind is who we are. And that is trying to stay present and conscious and observe the mind. Like you watch a movie, the movie can be so good that you get fully absorbed in the movie and you lose self-awareness. And then you find that program called mind, which is like a very, very well done movie, it absorbs you so much that we actually realize, in hindsight, that we're insane. We spend huge amounts of our time chasing some future heaven, which we can't live in the future, or having guilt about something we did in the past. So very few of us are present. And a lot of people say the greatest gift you can give anybody is to be present. So, even as I'm talking to you, I have to really sort of remind myself that it's almost a daily battle at a second-to-second, breath-to-breath, thought-to-thought sort of mode. And you can get these states where you're present and you're observing your mind and you're like, wow, isn't that amazing that thing is separate from me and it was running me. And so you sort of find, greater and greater pieces of peace, or sort of see the big picture without understanding or knowing even what it is. But I would call it grace. And the masters definitely live in those states. They create a massive field of it, and they sort of suck everybody else into that state. So I've been sort of having that internal jihad, that battle going on for a good 10 years or so. There's my demon.
There's your demon. And what do you hope to accomplish by being a cast member in God's house?
I think to be able to shed some light and awareness on the unifying principles of religion and maybe more educational in discussions and what you share in the interactions. Because, you're going to see some people get really fixated on a belief to the point where they're willing to kill or die for it. And it's like, well, can you fixate on the love, the essence of who you are, the real permanent part of you, and let that be the thing that you're willing to die for, like Gandhi or Krishna or Jesus, Muhammad, all these incredible masters and avatars, that totally lived from that place of awareness. Love thy brother as thyself, not as a concept, but the fact your brother is yourself. There's only one self, so I would, would really enjoy to sort of add some flavor to that discussion until, so that we can maybe, hopefully as a collective, become a little more, maybe wake up to our birthright of the dawning of the golden age of man, which I believe the consciousness of the planet is going to go through a big shift, probably before you and I leave our bodies, if we live to the ripe old age. I think you'll see some massive shifts in the collective consciousness of the planet. I could see it happening. I travel a lot. I've been to 75 countries, and I see people sort of going through the paradigm shifting way of trying to live differently, and hopefully we can help stimulate that a little more.
And then just one other intro to tell Ed, what do you do in your, I guess, professional life, your working life?
I coach athletes, Olympic windsurfers and kite surf athletes, so I'm a wind and water sort of baby. And also I have a health coaching business, and I work with my clients a lot about how to stay more present and conscious, to sort of keep themselves in a lower stressed out, less stressed out mode. And I work very heavily on nutrition and lifestyle choices. I've been a vegetarian for 17 years. That's quite unusual. Being an Olympic athlete, I did 2 Olympics as a vegetarian and 3 without being a vegetarian. That was sort of an evolution of consciousness by running into my master, who showed up in my life Christmas Eve 1995, which is sort of my second birthday, so to speak.
Cool. Thank you very much,
Yep.
Mike.